Convicts Thoughts, ARHayes. We're going to do something very different. I think one of the reasons why many of you have subscribed and enjoy my actual channel is because of the fact I relay real life experiences with you that kind of go side and side with the true crime community and crimes that have been committed. Obviously, many of you know I've had issues within my past. I am a convicted felon. I have served prison time. Unfortunately, that's what my past was. But as we know, as I move forward, things get better and better by the day, and life changes, and we grow and we mature. Many of you have asked me different various opinions in regards to what I think about the Idaho 4 case and different scenarios that go along with that case. So what I figure, because many of you have enjoyed some of my demonstrations through the past, is we're going to do a 3-part video scenario here as if I was the person committing the actual crime. Now, I'm not stating that there's only one individual involved in this crime. I'm going just by the narrative of what we've been shown via the PCA, the arrest, and what they put out there, that this is a single person crime that's been committed. Many of you have asked me questions on whether it could be a single person, whether it could be a professional that committed this crime. Many different scenarios run through all of our minds because nothing has been proven true as of yet. Nobody's been found guilty, and this case is not solved. So, the best way that I can go about this is through my own experiences, what I would see, what I would do, and I could relay that to you just based off of different knowledge that I have and experiences. So, it's going to be a 3-part. We're going to begin with planning an entrance. Second video is going to be commission of the actual crime. And then third and finally, I will actually go through the escape and how to get away from the crime if it was me trying to get away in the scenario that we know at this point that's being given to us about this crime. Little bit of background on me. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I'm one of the best that you can find at getting in and out of a home in any type of locked situation. I can get into French doors using a credit card. I can get into sliding glass doors with something as simple as a nail or a flathead screwdriver. I can even get into your deadbolts, your safes. Hell, I was even popping locks within the penitentiary and getting prison doors open. So people do understand that know me. I am very good at getting in and out of situations that many people think are keeping their homes and their families safe. Nothing to be proud of today, but I utilized it in my past. Breaking and entering was easy for me. Normally I never did it to actually steal anything. Yes, I got charged with residential burglary numerous times, but that's only because I got into the home, and once you're in the home and you commit any type of crime while in the home, it's considered burglary or residential burglary because it's being the commission of a felony crime within someone's home. So I do have them, and I have been around the block. I've been able to get in windows and any type of door. So, let's begin with planning of this heinous crime. This is not one that I personally would find myself wanting to plan, needing to plan, but there are individuals out there, and I've been around them, that do plan sick crimes like this. They start with, ahead of time, one, finding their victim. In this case, many of you have asked my opinion. What would motive be? If I was to play devil's advocate and state that this defendant was the actual perpetrator and the guilty party, no, I do not agree that he was an incel. No, I do not agree that he was a stalker in nature. He doesn't have the time. He's a PhD student that is not only studying to get his PhD courses done, but he's also a teacher's assistant, meaning he has to work with students who are also trying to get their degrees or their PhDs. He doesn't have time, ladies and gentlemen. That's why most PhD students are up all night rather than during the day. So, if it is a single individual planning this crime, remember in the back of your head, he doesn't have all the time in the world to do this. Now, if he's intelligent and he utilizes the actual schooling that he has, it would make it more simple for him to plan. I believe, in my opinion, on this case, this is truly an anger-filled type of crime. This is not a stalker. This is not a fantasy. This is not I can't get a date type of crime by this gentleman. This is I'm pissed off. You've done something very deeply emotionally painful to me. You didn't say no when I asked you for your phone number, and you didn't get mad when I followed your pictures on Instagram. This is something much deeper than that. It may be as simple as maybe he is an up-and-coming want-to-be serial killer. Could possibly be. He did do a survey while he was in Pennsylvania, reaching out to criminals to get more knowledge and emotional ties to those people, and he might have got some feedback that triggered him. Now, if we come back to a person like myself being the individual that commits this crime, I'm an anger-raged type of person, meaning that if I get into a violent situation, it's based off of anger and temperament. It's the only time you'll find me in an anger-filled situation. I don't care if somebody doesn't like me to the point that they won't give me their phone number. I'm not infatuated with women. None of that would affect me whatsoever. So if a girl told me no to a date, that's not going to drive me to stalk anybody. So if that were the case in this, it wouldn't be the reason why I would commit the crime. So I would have to go, if I was the one that's involved in this crime and I'm the perpetrator, one, it would be a thrill, and two, it would be anger and temperament filled. You've pushed me to my limits in anger and temperament, and now it's become a thrill crime to me that not only do I get to be, I guess, appeased by the fact I was able to handle what I felt like I needed to handle, but two, I got to endure the thrill of doing it, which is stimulating to some people. I know it sounds sick, but when I used to break into homes and get in and out of people's homes, it wasn't because I needed to steal or anything. I didn't need to get a new TV. I didn't need to take the dollar bills off the top of your bed or out of your wallet. I did it for a thrill. It was almost a challenge to me. Could I get in and out of your home without you knowing it? And, ladies and gentlemen, I only have one residential burglary conviction on my record, and it actually happened not even with me in someone's home. I've never been caught in anybody's home, around it, or in the commission of the crime. So that tells you I can get in, I can get out, whether you're home or not home, I can do it. So in my perception of planning for this crime, I don't need to go survey the home like they claim this defendant 12 times. I can go look at this home in a matter of 15 minutes and know exactly how I want to get in and already have my plan set out. Now, obviously, I'm not going to know the interior setup of the home. That takes far more planning than anything I would ever need or want to do. Maybe somebody did do that. They would pull the actual floor plans of the home. I think it's ridiculous if you have to do that. But maybe in a crime like this, you do that. I don't know. I personally would not need to. I could drive by the home and I would know where, pinpointed by the look of the outside of the home, I would know exactly where my entrance would be. Now, many people would question, how would you know that based off of how many cars are around, or you may not know how many people are in the home. Who's awake? Who's eating? You're absolutely correct. That is what makes this crime the most difficult thing to do is I don't know who's in the home. I don't know whether they're awake. I don't know if they're eating their DoorDash at the time that I might be walking in the door. So everybody that thinks this is a clean-cut entrance, handle your business and get out of this home, it's far from that. And that's coming from someone. I'm pretty good, and I quickly am able to adapt and maneuver around what I may be walking into. This home, I would not have chosen the back slider door like many think he entered, and many think is the best entrance to the home because they say it's concealed by the back foliage around the backyard, and that's not where I would have chosen to come into this home. And people may find it crazy when I say this. I would have come in directly through the front door. I would have come directly in the front door. And let me explain to you why. I start at the easiest place to exit from that I know in my mind without having to surveil the home. Meaning, I know if I walk in that front door, I am on the lowest level of the home. If I have to come out a window, it's not a far fall out of that window to get onto ground to run. If I need to come right back out the same door I entered, I know that's on plain ground to run away. Now I've got options of which way I want to run. I can run straight, I can run to the right, I can run to the left, and I'll find a place to hide. Getting away out of the front door is going to be far easier than trying to figure out that back slider door, even though the back slider door is darker and covered. We don't know that for a fact, though. Was the kitchen light on? Was the back patio light on? We don't know. We do know by the body cam footage, we watched the front of the house lights go out. So I know the front of the home is dark. I'm also concealed by the cars parked in front of the front of the home. If anybody were to see or have a direct line of sight on me and I could see them through the window, I would know whether they were looking at me or not. But if I could see them through the front windows, I could hide in between the cars, under the cars, behind the cars, and run away. You got to really just realize the layout of this home is very difficult. It's 3 levels. The middle second level is actually ground level to the grade of the land of the home. The very bottom level is the lowest point. The third level is the most difficult. Now, not knowing the back of the home, I wouldn't know I could jump off of that back porch if I needed to. I could come out the back slider door from the kitchen if I needed to, and there's also windows there. But I do know by the grade of the land it wouldn't be that hard if I had to. I want to clear from level 1. If I've never been to that home, I know there's a stairwell that has to go from level 1 to level 2, and a stairwell that has to go from level 2 to level 3. If I can make it up stairwell 1 from level 1 to 2, I've cleared a level of anybody that may see me from behind or know that I'm there. I know it's dark, I know it's quiet. I'm in the home and I can hear and see everything above me. And people will argue with me and say, well, you can't see what's above you. Your ears in the dark is your sight. If you hear a step or a movement upstairs, you can visualize by stopping, pausing, and listening where that noise is coming from. That's where you dictate whether you need to exit quickly or you could hunker down and wait a minute for that person to get out of your movement pattern that you're going to make next. Once to the second floor, knowing now what we've seen of this home's layout, but it would be quickly noticeable for me as I came up from the stairwell, I would kneel on the very top step with the half wall on my right-hand side so that as I peeked into said living room, I would have direct vision of everything in front of me of that level. How do I know that? I've got the outside part of the home directly to my left. If I wanted to, I could lean my left shoulder against the outer wall of the home. And people would ask me, well, what does that matter? Well, it's plain and simple. With my shoulder against that wall, I know I do not need to ever look to the left to see if anybody is visually looking at me or walking towards me. That wall is my complete side protector. I have a half wall to my right. Why is that important? If somebody is in front of me with a visual, I know I could slide behind that half wall and make my exit down the same stairwell I just entered, and nobody can impede me or stop me. That's a big deal. Being able to get out of the premises without somebody stopping you from doing so is key. Now also tell me, how do you take a picture of me with your cell phone if I'm behind a wall descending the stairs and exiting the door? The only thing you'll get a picture of is my back. It's the only thing you'll get a picture of. I don't know many photo lineups that work out well from a back point of view of a picture. I'm in the home now, ladies and gentlemen. I am now on the second floor. Many have asked me what my motive would be, and that's the hardest thing to answer in this case because of the fact I can't really put myself in the shoes of a suspect that's coming into a home with the idea of committing a quadruple murder. However, if in my thinking of what it would take for me to be in that position, somebody on one of these floors has angered me so badly they cannot be on earth anymore, and I'm willing to risk my own life to make sure that happens. Now, I'm on the second floor, depending on where I think my actual target is, and that's what makes this also very difficult, is we don't know the target. We do not know the target. We've heard rumor that it was Maddie. We've heard other rumors that it was Kaylee. We've heard rumors that it could possibly be Xana. We don't know. I would possibly rule out Ethan because he doesn't actually live at the residence. It's not his home. But if I knew he was going to be there, he could potentially be a target as well. If Ethan was the target, I would also have to say Xana was the target because I know they're together. If Xana's the target, I would also have to say Ethan's the target because they're together. If I was planning this crime, would most likely know Kaylee had left and was not residing at the home anymore, unless I'm a fool and just didn't know where my target was. So I would have to zone in on Maddie if it wasn't Xana and Ethan. If it is Maddie, there's a good chance if I have knowledge that Kaylee's back in town, then it's both of them as well. So, my first step after entering the home, getting myself situated, knowing my left side is protected, I have an easy exit if necessary. Directly from there, I'm able to see the back slider door, or at least the light coming in through it, so I know there's exit number 2 if necessary. I don't need to walk into the kitchen to know it's there. I know it's there just based off of the feel of the home, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The kitchen can't be on the 3rd floor. It can't be. And there's an exit out of the kitchen of almost every single home. It's just a part of the way houses are designed. So I know there's exit 2. I got exit 1 downstairs. I got exit 2 on the floor I'm on. So my next move is to clear floor 2. When I say clear, that doesn't mean I have to target anybody on that floor to actually end their life. But I need to know where they're at, and I need to know that I'm clear of anybody, again, getting to the one critical spot that I can't allow somebody to be, and that's to my back side. It doesn't matter if you're just in there to rob, if you're just in there to peek, if you're in there to commit a horrible crime, you can never allow your backside to get exposed. So, you have to clear floor 2. I'm not looking real hard at closed doors with no light underneath the doorway. Why? Because they're in the dark, and if that door were to open, I've got the upper hand because I would know the door opened and they were there. They may not possibly know I was there. And if they did think I was there, they wouldn't know where. I know where they are because the door has to open. So as long as I protect those doors, I know where people are. So my first move would be walk directly from left all the way to right along the half wall. Why? Why would I do that? Well, I explained why. I'm protecting my back. I can slide down that half wall with my back against it, and I know, again, nobody can come from behind me because I've already cleared it. It's a half wall to a straight drop down the stairs. Nobody can fly up from the bottom floor to that half wall without actually coming up the stairs, and I'll hear them. So now where does that leave me, ladies and gentlemen? I am directly in front of Xana and Ethan's door with a bathroom directly in front of me. The bathroom door would be directly in front of me because I slid all the way down the wall with my back against it so I could test the door with my right hand. This leaves me now completely protected again from the backside because I have my shoulder and my hand against a door where Xana and Ethan would be, and I can visually look to my left and see anybody coming my way from the openness of the home. Meaning if you come down the stairs from the 3rd floor, if you open Dylan Mortenson's door, or you come through the back slider of the kitchen, or even up the stairs from floor 1, you're directly in my vision. And I'm definitely going to hear you coming to said door my hand is on the door handle of and my shoulder is against. I'm going to know you're there before you ever realize where I am. That could possibly be why, if anybody wonders, Ethan and Xana may have been the first casualties. We know Xana was receiving a DoorDash and expecting her food. So what possibly happened? I'm protected. You didn't know I was there. You opened that door. I've got you. I've got you. I've got the ultimate element of surprise. She fought for her life, which probably means the minute that door opened, I drove her straight backwards into the room conducting the physical fight. Unfortunately, it cost her life and a lot of pain with her hands, and yes, that's where she would thud and make noise and whimper as I attacked the bigger second person of the room, Ethan, who I also caught by surprise, and that would be the major confrontation. This is possibly where Dylan opens her door and yells to shut the fuck up, and recloses her door and goes back to the peacefulness of her night. Man, I hate to even say that because I think it's ridiculous. But that's where she would hear the whimpering and maybe even the "I'm here to help you" or whatever might have happened as I would escape out of the room, feeling my way down the half wall. Now I know my ultimate goal at this point is I need to clear, if my victims are on the 3rd floor, if that's my target, that's now directly in front of me to where I can make my quick move up the stairs. I've eliminated my backside issues. I still, remember, ladies and gentlemen, I have to keep an exit always available. To my right is now the slider door out of the kitchen as I approach that stairwell to go upstairs. Boxing myself in, that's a nervous feeling, but at this point, if my target's upstairs, I have to take the risk to box myself in and go up that 3rd floor set of stairwell, leaving my exit behind. But what I'm hoping is I've cleared the floors to the point that if I need to rush out, I can come back down and I got an early exit right back out the back door. Or I can continue all the way down the stairs and leave the front door. And that'll be key when I explain my exit, because there are some key points to this case that I will explain to you in the exit part of this whole plan. But right now, I'm still continuing my way up to the 3rd floor. And remember, part 2 of this is the commission of the crime. So I've got to give you the cliffhanger right here, and Xander's going to laugh in the background because he knows you're anxious to know, what movement do I make from here? But ladies and gentlemen, my entrance to the home would have been the exact way everybody should enter a normal home. I would have walked right in the front door. Doesn't matter what type of lock it is, I would be prepared to get in. Now the question is, in the Idaho 4 tragedy, the defendant and the suspect that's sitting in jail right now, is he knowledgeable, experienced enough, and capable to open any type of lock that would be necessary to get in and commit said crime? It's a Convicts Thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you through experience. I want to open your eyes, let you use a little imagination, and join me as I know in part 2 is commission of the crime. Do you have an idea what may happen from this point?